What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so we've been on this over here. It was reported a few days ago, sometime last week, that despite the Harris campaign amassing an unprecedented $1.4 billion war chest for this 2024 election cycle, the most ever, they wound up being $20 to $25 million in debt. Now, just to do a reminder, it took Hillary Clinton's campaign 4 years to pay off that $20 million debt they had at that time, back in 2008. Now, her campaign, Hillary Clinton's, remember, it stretched from 2007 into 2008. She didn't make it to the general election because her campaign ended when she lost narrowly in the primaries to Barack Obama. So for her to spend that much money in that short a period of time is absolutely mind-boggling. And they spent a lot of money. It's been revealed that they paid, I don't know what the total was, man, that they paid celebrities and the events the celebrities were involved in, the reported busing of potential voters. There's even some reports they may have even paid some voters a nominal fee to attend. You know, they misled potential voters to believing that Beyonce was going to perform at that event in Houston, only to have her speak for 3 minutes before she jetted. You know, but this is the thing. This is another piece of news that has come out. I'm reading from an article from the New York Post. Harris campaign donated $500,000 to Al Sharpton's nonprofit before softball Msnbc interview. The Harris Walsh campaign funneled some $500,000 to the Reverend Al Sharpton's nonprofit, the National Action Network, prior to the vice president's softball sit-down interview with the civil rights activists. Vice President Harris' team made two donations of $250,000 to Sharpton's group on September 5th and October 1st, respectively, according to the Federal Election Commission records. The cash flow came in the context of payments totaling $5.4 million to various Black and Latino activist organizations as the campaign set its sights on galvanizing support among minority voters. Available campaign finance records are current through mid-October and do not yet reveal Harris's team spendings during the tail end of the 2024 election cycle. So there's going to be reports in days to come, weeks to come, of lavish spending that they engaged in from mid-October until, I guess, election day. So Harris sat down with Sharpton for an MSNBC interview that aired on October 20th, just shy of 3 weeks after the donations from her campaign to the NAN. Sharpton heaped praise on Harris during the sit-down, at one point drawing parallels to Shirley Chisholm, the first Black woman elected to Congress who later unsuccessfully vied for the presidential nomination in 1972. They said unsuccessfully vied for the presidency in 1972. Actually, no, I take it back. She did run as an independent candidate. I think she ran for the nomination. If I remember correctly, I think she ran for the nomination, which went to George McGovern, who lost in a 49-state landslide of Nixon. Then I think she ran third party in 1972, or independent, what you want to call it. Um, this is the thing. Number one, I find it rather, I know most media outlets aren't going to really talk about this because I've already stated, and it's, pretty much an established fact that most of the media, mainstream media, leans liberal. So they're not going to make a lot of this. But isn't it sort of against, at least ethically wrong, to send payments to a journalist and then go on their platform and uh, conduct an interview knowing that there's a conflict of interest there? I mean, there's that's. I mean, am I wrong in this? Remember now. 20 years ago, Armstrong Williams was fired. If I remember correctly, Armstrong Williams, a conservative black pundit who was on Fox News, was fired because he had direct contact. Was found out he had direct contact with the Bush administration. If I remember correctly, it was a long time ago now. I was in my mid-20s then, but he was fired. Conflict of interest. So why is nothing being made about this? You pay his organization $500,000 just before you do this softball interview, where he's heaping all this effusive praise that's not warranted at all. And to compare her to Shirley Chisholm is a complete and utter disgrace to the memory of Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm was a great woman who actually was for her people and was I would look for everybody to keep talking about only going in on her because she's a woman, talking about Kamala. I would have voted for Shirley Chisholm in a heartbeat if she was just 40 years younger or 50 years younger, I should say, and running today. I would have voted for her in a heartbeat. It got nothing to do with that. And I'm tired of this weaponization of the feminine. Well, I'm not going to say that on YouTube. I'm sick of the weaponization of feminists, extreme feminists. Anytime you criticize Kamala, it's because she's a woman. I just find it very appalling. Now it makes sense why she didn't agree to go to Joe Rogan or do his podcast, because because her team knows that she's extremely vulnerable. She was the least qualified person ever to run for office from any major party. They try to run some con on us. There was always reports that many Democratic leaders we heard reports back in July that they wanted Biden to step aside, but they knew she was a weak candidate. They knew that they didn't want her either. You know what I'm saying? And they try to pull some crack, man. Look, I think I saw on Phil Scott's channel, Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett, she recently revealed that, there was talk back in July. Not only did they want Biden to step aside, but they were trying to find some way to get rid of Kamala Harris. I distinctly remember that because they knew that she was weak. So they just pulled the biggest con in political history, deluding millions into thinking that this woman was suited for the presidency when she couldn't even handle interviews. Like I said, that's why she didn't want to go on Joe Rogan, because they wanted to be in charge of what the questions were asked. I guess, the terms that they wanted for the interview. She probably wanted to. They just wanted to control the interview, what questions were asked, and basically make it a situation where she's kissing or he's kissing her ass and just giving her the easiest question. He wasn't going to do that. So I suspect from watching Club Shay Shay that the same thing went on in that situation, because that was the easiest damn softball crap I ever seen in my life. I'm not saying attack her, but every other major party candidate I've seen that run for the presidency, they've been asked tough questions. Yeah, occasionally you get your softball interviews, but you're expected to be in a debate where there's an actual audience there. You're expected to go into a debate or a town hall situation where you're engaging with real people and not actors and not favorable media members who are in the tank for you, who are your college sorority buddies or belong at least the same sorority you do. I mean, it's just revolting, man. They tried to, they tried to buy the presidency. It ain't enough that you already have a built-in liberal advantage when it comes to the media. It's not enough they try to pump her with media steroids. That's not enough. You had to rig it more. Now what's crazy is I'm hearing that they're now begging supporters for money to help pay off this debt. I wouldn't give them a dime. Even if you're a Democrat, you should feel absolutely pissed off. You should feel pissed off because ordinary citizens who are having a hard enough time as it is to make ends meet, your donations made up probably the bulk of that 1.4 billion. And they're taking that money and just wasting it on millionaire celebrities who are nothing but corporate 304s anyway, and they're just gonna go the way whatever you pay them, that's what they're gonna be for. It's not like these endorsements were genuine. We can see that it's fake. But it's just especially galling since Al Sharpton is a member of the fourth estate now, and you're paying a media member indirectly money or directly money to his organization for an interview. I just find that this should be a huge scandal. And in my opinion, Al Sharpton shouldn't be on Msnbc no more. But it's not going to be. It's not going to be. But anyway, tell me what you guys think.